It may not look like much sitting there on the ground in that case, but what we're going to be taking a look at today is something that I think can come really in handy for you folks with a bug out location and maybe not a place where you have a house or any kind of cabin. Today we're looking at the huge VEVOR Gazebo camping screen tent. Let's check it out. Alright folks, welcome back. I hope the barking dogs and wind aren't too bad today. I did want to get this going because I don't want to be setting this up in the wind. I want to have it anchored down and set up by then. I've seen a lot of reviews of this particular gazebo tent, and we're going to get right into the setup here. I just want to give you a little background on why I chose it. One of the things I'm going to do with this is set it up out here. If you notice, back this way is my little outdoor work area when I do fire videos and stuff. I'm going to set this out here for the summer, and I'm going to see how well it holds up, as well as use it in a bunch of videos and kind of make it my outdoor camp gear or bug out gear test area. So that's why I kind of chose this, and we are going to open it up in the bag. It's very simple to set up. This looks like it's going to be complicated, but it's really not. So we're going to open up the bag and give you a look at what comes inside of it, and then we're going to get into setting it up. Alright, so it's out of the case. We have the tent sitting over there. I'm not sure which way is up or down in it yet. We'll get that figured out. You'll notice we have a couple of poles. I'm not really sure where they're going yet. Bag of stakes down there. And over here are the covers. Remember, this is a gazebo, so it's going to have screened windows. These covers will go over those windows and block out any kind of wind, rain, or anything like that. Now, just an FYI, when I get new products, I always kind of research what other people have done with them. And I watched a video, gosh, a couple days ago, of this couple that boondocks with their RV, and they set one of these up in Arizona, and it was during a monsoon, and it was a heavy downpour. And interestingly enough, once they got the panels on the side, this thing did not leak at all. So if you're looking for a semi-permanent shelter type situation, like I said, if you have a bug out location that doesn't necessarily have a house or a building on it, this might be a good option, and we're going to test it out because it's going to be out here all summer long. We're going to try and use it in some videos. We're going to try and set it up nice inside, so it's kind of like a little camp setup. We're going to go from there and see how we like it. May even try to integrate some cooling into it, but that's down the road. First, we're going to get this thing set up. So let me get it on its front there, on its side, and we'll start pulling out the sides. Basically, you're going to set it up, and you're going to pull out the sides, and then you're going to get into it and push it up. It's really simple setup. So let me get to that first part first, and then we'll go from there. All right, so here you go. This is what you're going to do. You're just going to pull that forward. It was inverted before. I am holding it because there's a very light wind out here, but I still don't want this thing to blow away. So we got one side up. Let's put up all the sides, and I'll show you how the middle goes. Okay, got all the sides pulled out, and it kind of looks like sad deflated tent right now. Damn, this thing is big. I'm going to go inside, and I'm going to push up the middle, and we're going to show you what that looks like while it's going up. So I was unable to get it up, and it's perfectly fine. There's a reason. I remember from watching other people's videos, this needs to be staked once you get it like this. So I'm going to go around and stake the insides, and we're staking it down, and then I'm going to push it up, because when I push up right now, the bottom just lifts up too. So let me stake it out, and we'll go from there. All right, so we got it all staked in. It does look very transparent right now, but we are going to put those panels on and see how that works. I also have those poles to put somewhere around the front door. I forget where. I'm going to look up the instructions, but for putting it together, the most amount of work I did was staking it down, and that was even easy. So it was fairly simple to set up. You notice that the flaps around the outside there, I'm just going to pile some rocks on them to keep it down flush a little better. Of course, there's no floor in it, and of course, if it rains and starts to flood, it's just going to pour underneath. But I think I am going to get some kind of indoor-outdoor carpet to throw in there, and we'll hook this up like a little camping area and do some testing in it. But the biggest test is going to be just leaving it out for the summer and see how it performs. We get a lot of high winds. We get constant sunlight, although this year's been pretty mellow so far. Of course, I say that, and now it'll be 112 tomorrow. But so let me finish up and get the door pieces in, and we're going to try and put those side panels on, and I'll show you what it looks like once it's all finished. So before I put the panels up, I wanted to explain to you where those poles go. It's a little confusing for me because the manual just says insert the poles and move on to the next step. So I wasn't sure where the heck they went. I'm looking on the outside, I'm looking in the center here where the zipper is. I'm not seeing anything. So looked up here and noticed there's a pocket here, and let me scoot you down here. A pocket down there. Where'd they go? So that's where your poles are going to go. They kind of keep stability of the whole front entrance. Let me give you a quick look around in here. See what it's like inside. Well, idea. So all in all, it's a pretty big tent. I'll give you a look up top too. You can see. And I'm 6'2", and I can stand in this with miles of room ahead of me. That's really nice in here, to be able to stand up in a tent and not have to crouch down and crawl. So I think this is going to make a good little practice tent. You know, I could use this for pretty much anything out here. I might even operate out of here for field day tomorrow. For those of you that don't know, ham radio field day starts tomorrow at 11 a.m. I think, my time, you know, on the West Coast. So I may even operate out of here tomorrow. But anyway, we're going to get the side panels on and finish up the video. And I'll give you information on the tent itself, where to pick it up, and what kind of deal you can get on it. Because right now is a pretty good deal on it. Alright, so there it is, all set up. Now, there are some things I'm going to have to do with this tent eventually. I do have guy lines and stakes, so we will be putting those out in the future. I do have to move the two panels. You'll notice both windows are on this side. I'm probably going to move that panel to the other side so I can get some cross ventilation inside. I was just throwing them on just to see how it looked, so I didn't pay attention that there was two with windows. One of those might become a stove jack in the future, but I'm not sure yet. Anyway, you can get a good quick look at this. I'm going to walk you all the way around here really quickly. Let's just take a look at it. It is a large tent, let me tell you. And it would definitely make for a good temporary shelter. And we're going to see how it holds up, because we get some seriously high winds out here. See how it works. All right. So we come around the front, and there we go. And there it is. All right. It's going to be kind of difficult, but we're going to take you on a quick little trip inside and let you see. It's kind of dark and kind of cramped, so we'll let you see what you can see in there. And you realize just how tall this thing is. All right, so we are inside. It's actually really well insulated in here. It is substantially warmer in here than outside, so we are going to have to figure out a method of cooling. However, that should be fairly simple enough. Let's take a look around here. You can see the walls. Give you a look up at the ceiling here. And the white kind of blocks it all out, but it's, there we go. So it's kind of like a big umbrella, but it is very well made. You know, for a pop-up tent, most of these, to me, always felt kind of tinny and a compromise. This thing is pretty darn cool. Like I said, I do have just gravel on the floor here. Probably going to throw down a indoor-outdoor kind of RV-type rug and get this set up. And I am going to move the windows. As you can tell, I accidentally put the windows over there, so I'm going to take that one and put it on the other side so you get some nice cross ventilation. But this thing is pretty darn cool. And to have an outdoor little work area / wood shop will be pretty cool as well. I think I could probably, if I get enough stuff up off the ground, because I don't want to leave anything on the ground because it is an open tent, water could just flow in. I am going to be able to put in solar in here and kind of set this up as a mini retreat, maybe, you know, or for at least for doing videos. I do have some lights coming for it, some 12-volt solar lights, so that's going to be cool. I am going to pile up some rocks. Let me take you outside. Notice how this tent has these laps around the outside, okay? I'm going to put some rock around that, just to kind of insulate it and keep it down. I have about 4 inches of rock down here. I'm just going to take a little bit from each side and dump it on there with my wheelbarrow and just kind of flatten it out. I am going to guy it out eventually. Today is just getting it set up. So that is it. That is the VEVOR tent, the VEVOR Gazebo tent. I'm going to give you a little final information on it and where you can pick it up from and what it costs. So if you want to pick up this tent, okay, it is on VEVOR's site, and I will have a link down below plus a 5% coupon. If you want to get this site, if you want to get this tent, you get it off the VEVOR site. Now, without registering, if you just bought this straight up as a guest, $310. If you register, $199.99. So basically, you're saving $210 just by registering on the site. So definitely not too bad. You know, I've seen some of these larger gazebo type tents before, and as I'm looking at this now, my perfectionist side is taking over, and I realize I got to straighten out that bottom there. It's like, I've seen a lot of these before, and they're pretty expensive. So to have the option of having it as a gazebo, so you can have it open during the daytime if you have guests over, if you got mosquitoes you don't want to get at you, that's really cool. And to have the option of using it as a tent is even better, because on nice days you can keep maybe 1 or 2 panels open and get that nice breeze, and on days that aren't so nice or rainy, you can definitely check it out. So expect the next time it rains, expect at least a short showing you what goes on inside and if it leaks or not. You know, again, it's a canvas tent. It's not going to be perfect. There might be some water coming through. I'm not unrealistic when I test tents out. I realize it's going to leak a little bit. But all in all, I'm pretty impressed with it. It's definitely easy to set up. Nice. We're going to leave it out here in the Pahrump Desert and see how long it holds up for. Should be interesting to see if it can take the heat and the wind and the rain, because we are kind of in the middle of our monsoon season, although it's been incredibly nice this year. Like, I don't think we've had a day over 100 yet, and normally it's into the 112s, 115s by now, so not complaining. I'm sure we'll get it in a month or two, so we'll see how it holds up from the wind and everything else. It is very mildly windy today. I wanted to do this the other day, but it was just too darn windy out here, and there was no way I was going to try to put it up in that wind. 20 and 30 mile an hour gusts do not do well for the tent. So you got B3 gauze netting on this. Waterproof, bite-proof, UV-proof. It's a 12 by 12 tent. Lots of space inside, as you can see. Like I showed you, you got 6 of the wind cloths, the coverings. They do give you a nice private, relaxed space inside, no matter how the weather is. They are waterproof as well. Very easy to set up. The biggest problem I ran into is when I set up the sides and you saw me go inside and try to push it up, it wasn't going up. And that's because I had to stake it down to get the leverage to push up, and it opened up like an umbrella. So very, very simple to do. You got all sorts of accessories with it. As you saw, we got the stakes, the guy wires, that yellow bag on the floor over there, the bag, a couple of little wraps that wrap it up when you're done. It is portable, sorta, but it's kind of heavy. I believe it's 29 pounds in total, so it's not exactly the lightest thing in the world. You won't be carrying this on your backpack for sure. You know. So I'm sorry, it's 35 pounds. I had to check my notes on that. 35 pounds. Width for every size, 71 inches. You can fit, they say, 8 people. I would say if you went camping with this, I would say 4 each would be comfortable with, you know, with gear. You know, so I always say 8 people, you half that in half with the gear, and that's 4 people. So that'd probably be comfortable like that. So like I said, I'm going to put some rocks on the outer ridge there and bury that little extra lap there. And we're going to keep this up for the long haul and just see how long it withstands everything and see how well it works. I'm really looking forward to getting out here and doing a video, maybe of a stove or something on a nice rainy day where normally I couldn't go outside, and I could go in there. Anyway, folks, like I said, the link will be down below, plus my 5% off coupon. This is on the VEVOR site. You can check it out. $199.99 after registering, and I think it's one of the better deals on their site, actually. And we're going to guy it out and set it up a little bit more and give this a good old test out this summer. You expect to see some videos from inside and outside around it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So don't forget, the link down below. Don't forget to check out all my other links. We have our freeze-dried wholesaler link down there. That link will save you 15% just for using it. That's all you got to do. Click the link, shop whichever kind of food you want, and you'll save 15% when you're checking out. Also, he has much more back in stock. I'm going to be putting my order in pretty soon, so definitely check him out. Get the stuff before there's none to get, because you see how quickly it disappears. And in the next emergency, you don't want to be without food. Below that is our Amazon store. Definitely check that out. If there's nothing in the store you like, just click the link, shop as you normally would. We really do appreciate when you do that. It does help out the channel, bring you more cool content and more cool gear. And below that is my Food for Patriots. Food for Patriots link. That is preparewithiridium.com. 3-month kit, $200 off. Check them out. And of course, our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. I thank you guys for watching today. Stay safe and stay prepared.